For the love of God, please keep this list a secret. I know this is a video, but I want you guys to keep this between us two. This list I'm about to show you is the top 5 guns, and I'm giving you guys an extra one at the very end. This includes a really crazy BP-50 class setup, a really crazy Ram 9 SMG class setup, and a crazy one-shot sniper to the head, almost like the Kar 98. So I think you guys want to watch this video. Drop a like, and let's get straight into the class setup. All right, so the first gun that we're going to take a look at is the BP-50, the brand new BP-50 assault rifle, and I'm going to show you guys how to build this class setup right now. Add on the Lore 9 heavy barrel. This is going to increase your effective damage by 15%, your bullet velocity by 18%, and also increase your recoil control while only reducing your mobility by just a tad bit. So put that on right there. Go to the muzzle and add on the Jack BFB. This is the best muzzle to control your recoil by a substantial amount. I know you could put on the Spirit Fire, but this muzzle right here brings out the hackness of every single gun, if you will. Go to the magazine and on the 45 round magazine. You definitely need this as a 30 round mag on this gun. It's not going to be sufficient enough. Go on to the stock and add on the MWIII 40 stock. This is going to increase your recoil gun kick control by 25% while also increasing your movement speed. So you definitely want to put that on, and then go to the rear grip and add on the TRST IV grip tape. This is going to increase your recoil control by a good amount. And if you guys did not know, in the recent update, the firing aiming stability also got a buff. So pretty much when you're aiming down sights, before this stat didn't even do anything, but now they actually changed it to where if you see a pro that says fire aiming stability, the sway is actually going to be reduced by a substantial amount, way more noticeable than from season 1. So add this on right here. This is my number 1 class setup for the BP-50, and I'll show you guys the recoil pattern right now. What the? It doesn't make any sense. So this is the number 1 class for the BP-50, and let's go on to the second class of this video. So I think this season is going to be predominantly just dominated by SMGs, close range metas, and I think all the battle rifles and assault rifles did get a good nerf, and I think the SMGs didn't really get touched, and so I think this season is going to be predominantly about SMG. So this is the brand new Ram 9 SMG, and I'm going to show you guys how to build the best class for this, so follow along. Let's start out with the barrel and add on the FSS Imperator light barrel. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but this is going to increase your effective damage ranges and your bullet velocity. This is the only barrel that's going to do that, so put that on right there. You're going to skip the muzzle, go on to the under barrel, and add on the DR6 hand stop. It's going to increase your mobility, your movement speed by 4%, your crouch movement by 10%, and your ADS movement speed by 6%. So put the DR6 hand stop on this gun right here. You're definitely going to have to put on a 50 round magazine. It's an SMG. You don't want to run around with a 32 round magazine. This reminds me of the MX9, but a stronger version of the MX9 SMG. So put the 50 round on right there. Go on to the stock and add on the Hunker 5 stock pad. It's going to increase your recoil gun control by 15% and 8% to your horizontal and vertical recoil control. So put that on right there, and then go on to the rear grip and add on the Retort 90 grip tape to increase your fire aiming stability. Like we mentioned before, your fire aiming stability is actually a huge benefit now because they did buff that in this season. So your sway is going to be noticeably different when you have 2 arrows on the pros on this one. So put that on right there. This is the number 1 class setup for the Ram 9 brand new SMG DLC gun in Season 2 Warzone, and I'm going to show you guys the recoil pattern and stuff like that right now. Really not going to have engagements that far away, but right here, it's good enough. So this is my number 1 class setup for the Ram 9 SMG, and let's go on to the third gun. The Striker 9 actually did not get touched in this new season, and so I'm gonna show you guys how to build the number 1 class setup. I think it's gonna be a top tier SMG in the game, and let's just go over it. All right, so go onto the barrel and add on the Striker Elite long barrel. I think some people would opt in for the Recon one, but this one right here also increases your recoil control. This one doesn't. It's preference, so whatever you guys choose, just choose, but I find more consistency with this barrel just because recoil is everything, so I want to put that on right there. Go into the muzzle and add on the Jack BFB. I put this on every single one of my guns most likely. Sometimes I put on the Spirit Fire on certain guns, but most guns I'll have the Jack BFB, so put that on right there. Go into the underbarrel and add on the DR6 hand stop. It's going to increase your mobility, and then go into the magazine and add on a 50 or a 40 round depending on the game mode. And to be honest, this stock that I'm about to show you guys, I don't think people really use this one, but I use the Lockman Recon series stock. This increases your recoil gun kick by 25% while just reducing your mobility by quite a few. 2% to your movement speed, 5% to your crouch movement speed, 4% to your ADS movement speed. But this one helps keep the gun stable for me, and I like this class setup a lot because you have the DR6 hand stop to increase, I guess, to offset the Lockman Recon series stock, because the DR6 hand stop increases your mobility, the Jack BFB reduces your mobility, and the 50 round obviously reduces your mobility. So I like this setup. If you guys don't, I don't know what to say, but this is the recoil pattern for this. It doesn't move. Now, obviously, if you want to put on a stock, I guess you could take off the DR6 hand stop and put on like a slate reflector. You could definitely do that. But if you want to get used to the iron sights of these weapons, well, that's that. And obviously, the thing doesn't move. Like these guns, you don't even have to put any effort into this. Like, look, I mean, like what the barnacle? Yeah, I mean, this almost looks like you're hacking. What the frick? Like, oh. Let's go on to the fourth gun, and that's going to be the HR9M SMG. This SMG, or the Growl, I don't know what you want to call it at this point, but you can actually make it look like a Growl. But this is also going to be a top tier SMG in the game, and I'll show you guys how to build a number one class setup right now. Go to the barrel and add on the Princeps long barrel to increase your effective damage range by 25% and your bullet velocity by 30%. So add that on right there. Now for this one, just because this already has no recoil to begin with, I know the Striker 9 doesn't have recoil as well, but for this one, I do like to use the sonic suppressor just to add more damage range and your bullet velocity. So I do like to use the sonic suppressor on this one. It's preference, and it's just the feel of the gun. So I like to put that on right there. For the underbarrel, I like to put on the DR6 hand stop to increase your mobility. Onto the magazine, add on the 50 round magazine, and then go on to the stock. I personally like using the folding stock. This is going to increase your recoil gun kick, horizontal recoil, and vertical recoil. And this is my number one class setup for the HRM9 SMG. It's pretty much a Growl. I'll show you guys the recoil pattern right now, but the mobility is great. Very easy gun to control, especially when you're in game. Like most of these times when you're just shooting like this, sometimes it's like a little weird, but when you're actually in game, this gun feels really nice. So I would recommend to give this setup a go. It's a very easy gun to use, especially with the fire rate being like that. You're gonna kill a lot of people in the game. Now, for those who want an LMG, this actually got a buff, the Evolvere. It was a brand new LMG that was released about maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and they buffed it. They buffed the damage ranges on this thing, and for some reason, it feels really nice right now, especially when you take this to Fortune's Keep. For some reason, this thing feels crazy. All right, so let's go to the barrel. Add on the LRF Righteous Long Barrel. This is the barrel that's going to increase your bullet velocity and your damage range, so put that on right there. Go to the muzzle. You're gonna have to put on a suppressor, so I want to find the Spirit Fire suppressor just because you're doing a lot of long range engagements and you're gonna be on the radar, and therefore when you're being idle, you kind of want this suppressor on, so put that on right there. The underbarrel, and add on the Kimura RYN03 vertical recoil. I don't even know what it is, but I like this one on this gun right here. It keeps the gun very stable for me. I know you see a 4% negative to the horizontal recoil, but don't worry about that, so put that on right there. Go to the rear grip and add on the XRK response grip. This is the best grip for this specific gun. Go to the stock and add on the Rampart heavy stock. This is going to increase your recoil, gun kick, and horizontal by 17 and 13%. And right here, you have a really nice LMG. Probably the best LMG in the game right now because it's got a buff, and I'll show you guys the recoil pattern right now. It's a really good gun. I would recommend it. I think it's a really consistent weapon at least, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Now, this is the brand new one-shot sniper, the Kar98 of Warzone, phase testy approved. This is the number one sniper in the game that one-shots to the head now, and within this damage range, obviously. But the Kar98 is back, I guess you will. I'll show you guys the class right now. This is the class, and we'll go over it really quick, but this is the only class you want to use for this gun if you're playing Warzone, if you want to one-tap like a Kar98. So, fission, 60 barrel, 23%. You guys can see the bonuses on here. Definitely put that on. This laser increases your ADS by 8% and your sprint to fire by 17%. So put on the SL Razorhawk laser light, no stock to increase your ADS by 4% and your sprint to fire by 6%, and then your XRK Stalker light bolt to increase your rate of fire and rechamber time by 50% and 31%. And the XRK Stalker Grip is going to increase your ADS by 2 and your sprint to fire by 15%. And right here you have a Kar 98, if you will, one shot to the head. The ADS is really nice as well. It feels like the Kar 98. But maybe I might have to make a video on this. But I was using this in a couple games of Fortune's Keep, and I'm like, hold on. This is kind of nice. The ADS is really clean as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed my list. Drop a like. Let me know if I missed anything. These are the top loadouts in the game right now. And I'll see you guys in the next video.